What is up, Buttercup? Today I'm going to be talking about my first NFT, which is actually the first digital piece of art that I've ever made. So this piece is called Sight of Light, and it's really special because it's the first NFT I ever made. And the people who bought it are the people who supported me from the very, very start, which is so incredibly amazing and important to me. So this piece is going to be very special in the future. Okay, so I wanted to talk about where it started, how it all started. The cool thing about Procreate is you work in layers and you can save everything as you go. So now I can go back and I can like literally look at all the steps that got me here, and it's really cool. So I kind of wanted to just show you guys. Okay, so this beautiful sketch right here, this is what it started with. I think when I made this sketch, I had the idea when, I actually don't know. I had this idea and I just jotted it down. A lot of times when I have a concept in my head, I'll just like put down a really like random sketch just to remember the concept, even though obviously it doesn't look like what it's gonna look like. So I started with this. I liked the idea of having kind of the symmetrical aspect of the eye dripping into the other eye. All right, then we got here. So I was kind of playing it around, like doing the shape, the whole thing. So once I got the kind of layout of what I wanted, the whole focus of this, I wanted to focus on the iris. I love eyes. I've always painted eyes and drawn eyes since I started art like forever ago. So I really wanted to just make like a hyper realistic eye, like starting with the iris. That was my main kind of focus. So this is kind of the progression of the iris, which I think is really cool. So I started with this layer, right? Kind of boring, bumped it up, add some shadows, bumped it up even more. We're getting that like nice kind of lighter green highlights in there. Oh, she's getting crazy. Oh, it's so satisfying. Oh my goodness. And then the highlights. Oh, she's beautiful. So once I had the irises, I was so happy with them. I thought they looked super cool. I used the liquify tool. So I learned what this was on Procreate and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I have to use it. So if you go to the little wand button, there's this feature called liquify, and basically it just allows you to move. Oh, whoa, okay, that was a little crazy. Look, see what it did? It just allows you to basically warp whatever you're working on. So that's basically what I did. I just used the push liquify thing and I just moved kind of the iris around to make it melty like this. And then came making the actual eye part. So it started with this. It looks kind of weird. And as we just go through it, it gets smoother and kind of more realistic as we go. All right, there we go. There we go. So a bunch of people ask like, how did I make it look wet? Like the eye look like it's actually glossy, and that's all in the highlights. So if you look like, and I zoom in, all these little highlights right here, like that's when you zoom out, that's what makes it like look glossy and wet, which I feel like, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but some people asked. And then the last thing I kind of did to the eye was add these little like loop loops at the top and the bottom, and I just felt like the shape, it needed that kind of shape, you know? That's basically how it came to be. This was one of the, again, it was the first digital piece I ever created. I fell in love with it. I thought it was so fun. I thought it was so cool because there's just things you can do on digital art that you could never do painting. That was my medium of choice. I always painted either acrylic or oil, and just the fact that you could make an iris and then just like doodly-doo, like move it around is so cool. So that's really what made me fall in love with Procreate, and that's kind of what sparked this whole thing. In terms of the meaning of Sight of Light, I mean, when I put these pieces out, the people who bought them from the start were people who saw long-term value in me as an artist. So there's so much meaning in terms of just seeing into the future. The whole collection is called The Point of Departure, meaning this is just the start. So there's a whole bunch of beautiful symbolism there. What else? Anything else you want to know about this piece? I think that's kind of it. Oh, one more thing to notice. I used the symmetry drawing guide on Procreate. So I only drew one of these and I just used the vertical guide, so it automatically drew the one on the bottom. If you didn't know, that's a feature. It's the coolest thing ever. You just go to the wrench, you click edit or drawing guide on, and then you edit the drawing guide, and there's all these different options here for like different ones, and I just used the horizontal one. So it puts this line here, so whatever you draw here, it's gonna mirror it perfectly on the other side. So that's how I made it so even and perfect. And yeah, I think that's it about Sight of Light. Thank you guys for listening and seeing kind of the process of how I created it. If you liked kind of hearing the process and the backstory, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna have all my links in the description. If you wanna find my NFTs, you can hit up my SolSea, which will be there. If you wanna talk to me, come join my Discord. That's the easiest way that I can talk to you guys. And follow all my socials, the talk, Twitter, Instagram. That would be so great. Thanks for watching and have a beautiful day.